Timmy will take some kidding in the dugout on that. But geez, especially if the Dodgers win. If they lose, nothing will probably be said. If they win, why, they'll come back and say, geez, you hit your best shot and the ball girl got it. Didn't even boot it. That's the kind of fun. You can have a little inside kidding like that when you win. Not so much when you lose. That doesn't go over too well. Goes back to the old time and place of picking your spots, right? 2-2 the count. The Expos this year have, well, they really haven't drawn well. They've gone through 40 dates and they're just at the 708,000 mark. That's fouled away. That is going to be a problem here in Montreal. To give you a little difference, on the road in 39 dates they've averaged 35,000, 1,370,000. Foul back and the count remains 2-2. The Dodgers on the other hand in 37 dates have drawn 1,526,000. So average of 41,000 plus for the Dodgers, 17,000 plus for Montreal. Base hit. Wallach was on him well. Tim was swinging the bat well against Barnes, and the one-out single that'll bring on Lenny Harris. Got the fastball up over the plate. Wallach just stayed right with it and stayed on it. Now you've got the third baseman Lansing, Darren Fletcher. And we'll see what they might be thinking. Home plate umpire Jerry Davis says, let's go, guys. Lenny Harris doubled his first time at bat. Was later cut down at third on the attempted sacrifice by Ramon Martinez. Oh, and 1 the count. Now Brian Barnes is going to go back and do a little walking around. He's probably saying to himself, wait a minute now. There is no way this left-handed hitter ought to be having those kind of swings off him. Lenny Harris was so far out in front of that ball, he hit the bottom half of it. And the breaking pitch for the strike. But he hit the bottom half of the ball. He got good wood on it and fouled it all the way back. That's how far out in front he was. San Diego and Philadelphia underway once again. Just missing. 1-2 the count. And they're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Padres lead the Phils by a score of 3-1. The Phillies today released former Cy Young Award winner Mark Davis. They had an hour and 36-minute rain delay in the bottom of the 3rd. Brocale started and he left. They'll chase Wallach back. Ramon Martinez on deck. Giants got 2 in the 5th and they lead New York 3-1. Florida leading Atlanta by a score of 4-0 in Georgia. That's Greg Maddux and Chris Hammond. Harris down on strikes. Second strikeout. And we'll look at that curveball again. Lenny did not have a good swing at this. Wanted to try and really kind of hold up at the end, but he couldn't. Pittsburgh held on to defeat Cincinnati in the first of a doubleheader tonight by a score of 10-9. Boy, that was a wild one in Cincinnati. Slott had a pair of home runs. Milligan, Larkin, and Mitchell as Martinez fouls it away with Brett Butler, the leadoff hitter, on deck. And they have one more to go. That'll be Wakefield against Pugh. St. Louis at Houston scoreless. Bottom of the 4th inning. McGrain against Portugal. And Chicago at Colorado. That's the National League side of it. 0-2 the count. Texas leading Detroit 2-0 after 3.5. Palmeiro is homered. White Sox 2-1 over Baltimore after 2. Minnesota 1-0 over Milwaukee after 2. Toronto didn't score in the 1st inning at Kansas City. Cleveland will be at the Big A in Anaheim. That'll be Kramer against Sanderson. Cleveland's won 6 in a row. The Angels trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. New York at Oakland and Boston at Seattle. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. So Martinez down on strikes. And the Dodgers are gone in the 5th inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Montreal leading it 1-0. The upcoming Dodger-Philly series at Dodger Stadium, there will be 2 special events for the whole family. Dodger Delta Airlines giveaway. That'll be July 20th. And Jersey T-shirt night July 21st, when all children 14 years and under at the game receive free 100% cotton T-shirt and a choice of 2 sizes featuring the Dodger logo, compliments of Coca-Cola. Number 42. Who wore that jersey? Delano DeShields will lead it off. He'll be followed by Lansing and then Grissom in that order. And the first pitch taken for the strike. DeShields single to the left side his first time at bat. And hit a tapper out in front of the plate that Piazza threw him out on. Number 42. Worn by a Hall of Famer. High. The count goes to 2-1. Of course, if you said Jackie Robinson, you're 100% correct. 2 balls and a strike. Three balls and a strike, and you have Lansing on deck. And that'll be ball 4. So DeShields with excellent speed put aboard, and that is a 5th walk issued by Martinez. Not a good man to walk. Not with his speed. And that will bring on Mike Lansing, the 3rd baseman. Also good speed. Lansing is singled and he's walked. DeShields this year with 21 stolen bases. He has stolen as high in the major leagues as 56. That was in 1991. He stole 59 in 1988 in the minor leagues. Stole 46 last year. So he hasn't been running quite as much this year. Good bunt. Martinez has but one play, and that will do it. 1-3 with a sacrifice, and Marquise Grissom will be the hitter, followed by Larry Walker. Now you got to keep an eye on DeShields at second base. We have seen this young man. You look at those eyes right there. You think he's not looking around and thinking. And he will be watching Lenny Harris. He will be the man that he will watch. Lenny telling Eric Gregg, the second baseman, say, would you please move a little bit. DeShields with a lead. Harris will try and keep him close as Grissom takes a strike. DeShields with 21 stolen bases. As I mentioned, he's been caught 7 times. The Expos certainly with good speed on the club. They've stolen 108 bases, including the one by Cordero tonight. So you see with Harris having to keep DeShields as close as he is, the Dodger infield, they play Marquise Grissom to pull. So that leaves that hole on the right side, and it makes Karros cheat a little bit more to his right, getting off of the line at first base to try and make up for that. They'll go back over there. You see Harris with that open hand. That's just a sign, unless there is a definite pickoff play put on before you go into a stretch position. Watch Harris come over now. He'll flash that open hand. There it is right there. That open hand, that means come on, let me have it. And Grissom over the change in the count, 1-2. Marquis a little unhappy with himself with that swing. And of course, the only thing about that, everybody in the ballpark knows that sign. So the third base coach knows it. The first base coach knows it. Most clubs use that now because for the simplicity factor of it. Now the count, 2-2. You like to let the pitcher know that you're going to go to the bag, and the pitcher should know that you're going to go to the bag. But that really is a situation right there. The more you work with your middle infielders as a pitcher on a staff and an established pitcher, you should be able to tell their mannerisms, if they're going to go or if they're not going to go, or they have a little different sign other than that, because indeed that just tells the third base coach or the first base coach, hey, it's on. They got the pickoff play on. Two and two the count. Now the count remains 2-2. Grissom taking that shot to the right side. Eighty pitches. And we're 1 out, 1 on, bottom of the 5th inning. Two balls and 2 strikes the count. There goes a runner, and a throw. Yes, they got him. DeShields got a little bit of a late jump. It looked as though that Kellogg did not get a real good look at the play. We'll look at it again. He saw the throw was high as Wally got down there in a hurry with a quick slap tag, and that right there is what got him out of there. So he did not have the real good jump. I don't know whether he tagged the bag or him, but he was down there. The glove got there before the hands, and that's basically it. Ball beats runner, runner out. Full count, 3-2. Wallach's got to hurry. One chance, and that's it, and he can't do it. And very wisely just holds on to it. Well, we've seen that so many times. Runner gets thrown out at second, gets thrown out at third, somewhere, and then the next guy will walk. The next guy will get a base hit. In this case, it certainly wouldn't have scored DeShields, but it would have put runners at first and third and 1 out, and Martinez in a lot more trouble. Here's Larry Walker, was on a fielder's choice, was walked intentionally. One ball and no strikes the count. 4 of his last 6 hits have been for extra bases. He's got power. The left field and playable. Eric Davis has a beat on that. And that will do it. Side retired. So the Expos gone in the 5th inning, and we're through 5. They lead it 1-0. From Olympic Stadium in Montreal, the Montreal Expos and the Los Angeles Dodgers, and along with Vince Scully, I'm Don Drysdale, and happy that you've joined us tonight. 1-0 Montreal through the first 5. A run on 3 hits, no errors for the Expos. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. It hasn't been that close, although the score resembles that, certainly, with the Expos on top 1-0. But Martinez has pitched out of jam after jam. There you see the number of pitches thrown by Martinez as compared to Brian Barnes. The Dodgers have left 3. The Expos have left 6. Left the 2 men on in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, and 1 in the 5th. And Brett Butler to lead it off here in the 6th inning. One ball and no strikes to count. Butler tonight has struck out, tried to bunt his way on. The first baseman flipped it on the Barnes covering. 2-0. And it's 3-0. On deck, Jose Offerman, who has kind of backed up over on the side a little bit. There's a strike, and they count 3-1. See what Butler has been doing at Dodger Stadium as compared to the road schedule. 403 to 241. Boy, that is something. Oh, Brett thought that might have been, and it wasn't. So he draws the walk, and that'll bring on Offerman. Offerman has flied to left and bounced to short. And the curveball for the strike. You see what Offerman did last year as far as his RBIs were concerned as compared to this year. Boy, there's a startling difference right there. And it's quickly 0-2. That long homestand the Dodgers just finished, that caught them up just about to their road schedule. They have played 39 on the road and 37 at home. That was starting tonight. This will definitely put them well back on top, but then they come back after the All-Star break and open up a good-sized homestand. That's when these Expos come in, the Phillies and the Mets. Foul away. Montreal comes in for 4 starting on the 15th. Philadelphia for 3 and the Mets for 4. We hope you make your plans to be with us. It's amazing that after that there are just 4 more homestands as far as the Dodgers are concerned in 1993. 4 on the regular schedule. Fouled right side, and the count remains 0-2. Two more games to go. 2 more games to go with these Montreal Expos. There's Kevin Gross and Dennis Martinez tomorrow. And then Tom Candiotti and Chris Knobholz on Sunday afternoon. Low, good play by Fletcher. Well, Fletcher and Barnes will have a little chat. Michigan and Clemson out there. The Montreal catchers have had problems throwing out base runners. See Fletcher looking over into that Montreal dugout, maybe to get a little bit of an idea. Center field, Grissom, that ball hit right over his head. He can't get it off of the wall. And they're going to hold Butler at third on the long double by Offerman. There's the hardest ball for a center fielder to handle, or any outfielder to handle. That ball hit directly over their head, and a lot of times I think Grissom right now is saying to himself, I should have caught that ball. And indeed, I think he should have caught the ball. First of all, he didn't get a real good jump on it, and when he started to go back, he didn't go back in a hurry. Now he's going back. See how close he did come to that ball, but that ball is certainly catchable, and we get action in the bullpen. Tim Scott gets up, and he will start to throw as Corey Snyder stands in, and the Dodgers have the tying run at third. And there's a strike called on a check swing, and the go-ahead run at second base. All in one the count. So the base on balls, that was not Grissom's fault. That was Barnes' fault. Third ball missing. Barnes in a jam. Nobody out. Runners at second and third, and the heart of the Dodger order coming up. Foul away. 1-2 the count. Look at the career of Corey Snyder, 1986 through 1992. You see what he has done. Here's 1993. Corey having a fine year. Starting tonight at 311. 6 home runs. 27 RBIs. Now home plate umpire Jerry Davis turning around and looking back in behind in those private seats in the section behind home plate. It's back of the glass. Back underneath behind home plate. He was looking back in that glassy area back in there. Somebody might have had a light on. Little high, and the count goes to 2-2. On deck, Eric Karros. Brett Butler at third. And Jose Offerman at second. Full count, 3-2. You have first base open. You don't like to really get yourself in that kind of a jam, but it certainly isn't mandatory that you have to give in to him here. You see that by Alou. They want to find out if that man in the bullpen is ready. Now home second base umpire Eric Gregg is pointing back there. It's over on the side in there somewhere underneath. That cameraman right there. Now they got to get him out of there. Well, it's the Expos 25th anniversary. There's a lot of people here. Got a lot of press out here tonight. Good ball, and that got him looking, and indeed he didn't give in to him. Oh, you just had a gut feeling on that. And we'll look at it again as Snyder takes this curveball. He wasn't looking for that. And Jerry Davis rings him up. And here's Karros. There's a big out. That was a strike all the way. So Karros stands in deep to left center field, and Alou's going to have to try and run it down. He won't get this off of the wall. The throw back to second base, and it's cut off. He's there with a double. 2-run scores. The Dodgers lead it 2-1. So Butler draws the walk. The ball hit over the head of Grissom. A big strikeout, and boy, Barnes is hot. He is hot on the mound, and he's gone. He don't even want to talk to Alou, but he's going to have to. Philippe's going to take the ball as Scott comes on, and we have a break in the action with a pitching change. And the Dodgers lead the Expos 2-1. Well, the Dodgers leading 2-1 on a high breaking pitch to Karros, who doubled in two. Now, I told you Brian Barnes, he wasn't happy. So you wonder what a pitcher does when he's not happy. You just do this into the cement wall and do it again. That's it. Yeah, that'll get some. Maybe you won't walk that leadoff hitter next time, or hang those curveballs. That's how you stop doing that. And here comes. So Tim Scott, he's worked 39 and 2/3 innings. Scott with a record of 2-1, making his 28th appearance of the year. Now, you might have just gone from about a 16 collar to a 17.5 the next time you go buy a shirt, but outside of that, why, you might not hang any more curveballs or walk those leadoff hitters like Brett Butler. And here's Piazza, and he takes a strike. I can't wait for the redhead to come back over here, Mr. Vince Scully, to explain the little idiosyncrasies of left-handers. High and foul to right. We always have a laugh and a chuckle in the booth when we see something that is crazy in the field or somewhere along the line. Vinny will say, well, thank God he wasn't a left-hander. Yeah, he was a right-hander. Well, we have that. We have that on tape. But then I'm sure we'll explain that. Barnes went 5 2/3 innings. He threw 73 pitches. Piazza tonight has walked. He's bounced to short. Karros at second. 2-1 Dodgers. Eric Karros on deck. Jams him with that curveball. Actually jammed himself as Cordero throws him out. Karros moving to third. And Davis coming in. 73 pitches. 2 hanging curveballs. And possibly a headache. Oh, he's hot. He is hot. He's looking. He'd like to just tear something up. Before we got that one shot, he kicked the cups and that Gatorade all over the place. I tell you, you do see some. They're funny after a while and after the years, and it does make you frustrated and mad when you make mistakes. He's not so mad at the ball that Karros hit. Davis threw a good fastball 0-2. He's mad at walking Butler. 1-0. You can't afford the one man you can't put on base is Brett Butler. But the guy sitting next to him that'll explain all of that to him, John Wetland. course, John was out for a while with a broken toe, spring training, after he kicked a ball bag or something. John doing a fine job out of that bullpen. Wetland leading the club with 17 saves, a 3-0 mark, and a 1.37 ERA. He's done a great job out of the bullpen for Montreal since getting a chance to come over here and work. Hard to left, and a low. Does he have it? No, they say he trapped it. He did not get a good jump on it. Eric Gregg went out to make the call. Will Cordero said something, but it was Eric Gregg, the second base umpire, who went out to make the call. I don't know what the third base umpire was doing. He's standing over there counting his change. But you can see clearly that he trapped the ball. But it was the second base umpire, Eric Gregg, that came from that inside position to make the call. So Caro scores, and it's 3-1. Now Eric Davis with a big base hit. And for Eric, that's his 34th RBI of the year. So you can close the book on Brian Barnes. He gives up the 3 runs on 5 hits. Dodgers 3. And the Montreal Expos 1. Boy, this is something the Dodgers haven't seen up here all year, and for a long time. Is a lead, especially in the middle of the ball game. Timmy Wallach is 1 for 2 this evening. Wallach will check with Joey Amalfitano, and in this situation right here, you might be thinking about giving Davis a little room to try and steal if he can. And they're going to pitch out, nothing happening. 2-0 the count. So now they've pitched out enough to where they have Scott in the hole. 2 balls and no strikes. On deck, you have Lenny Harris. The case, if you're Tim Wallach, you just are thinking pitch, which is fastball, location, wherever your power is, and look for it right there. If it's anywhere else, you might turn around and take it. That was inside. Now it's 3-0. And that'll be ball 4. So Davis to second, Wallach to first, and Lenny Harris will be the hitter. So Scott got Piazza to bounce out. Then Davis, after he got ahead of Scott got ahead of Davis, he singles or to left field. That picked up Eric Karros. Wallach is walked. The Dodgers have runners at first and second. And here's Lenny Harris. Little low, the count 1-0. Coming over the sports ticker, and we're going to be going into New York next weekend. Understand that New York Governor Mario Cuomo met with the New York Yankee owner George Steinbrenner for an hour today, reportedly to discuss the possibility of building a new stadium for the Yankees in New York. 1-1 the count. New York Times reported Thursday that Cuomo would meet with Steinbrenner to discuss possible construction plans for a new stadium. He's considering the site at a 30-acre rail yard on the west side of Manhattan. Bouncer first base side, and it's going to be foul. They say Scott carried it across the line. So the foul ball Harris will go back and the runner's back. Davis to second and Wallach to first. There you see where that ball was. Boy, that was close. But Terry Tater right there saying that he carried it across with him. Also at that meeting was the New York Post owner Robert Murdoch and the New York State Department of Economic Development Commissioner Vincent Tessie. Of course, Murdoch, he was asked about building the entertainment center on the same site as the stadium. That's hit, and that's fair. Tricky hop, and from the knees they go to Scott. Harris retired, and the Dodgers are gone, but not before they score 3 runs. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's the Dodgers 3 and the Expos 1. That's the story as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-1, the Dodgers on top. Martinez has struggled, but he has battled out of it. Allowed just 3 hits. He has walked 5, struck out 3. And it'll be Bolick, Fletcher, and Alou. Jeff Shaw, right-hander, starting to throw in the bullpen. Well, these Expos have some people that the Dodgers haven't seen since the first time that we've been here in Montreal. A little high. But on that New York Times report, the meeting between George Steinbrenner and New York Governor Mario Cuomo, and also Rupert Murdoch, that is to center field, left center, Butler there, 1 away. George Steinbrenner has made no bones about it. He's been critical of the parking, the lighting, the security around current Yankee Stadium. That's situated up in the Bronx, and the Yankees' current lease with Yankee Stadium expires in the year 2002. So when you stop and think about it, not that far away. And George feels that if you're going to get something done, let's not wait until the last minute. Let's get it done now. Of course, it's going to take a while to build it where they want to build it in New York. Darren Fletcher with a count, 1 ball and no strikes. He'll be followed by Moises Alou. That's hit fair the bag and over the bag. That might have saved a double really right there, as that ball is retrieved in a hurry by Corey Snyder. If that ball goes over the bag, it's going to go down all the way in the corner, and Snyder is going to have to play it into a double. But it hit the bag, kicked up in the air, and almost to the point where Carroll's got a hold of it. So they take an extra base away from Darren Fletcher. He turns on that. That hits the bag. Carroll's just about got it. Of course, you see that ball is going to go down into the corner. And Moises Alou will be the hitter. And Omar Dahl starting to throw in the Dodger bullpen. Alou has fly to right, popped to short. Bounce foul. Roger McDowell gets up to join Dahl. Alou 0 for 2. 7 home runs, 39 RBI. On deck, Will Cordero. Martinez taking too much time, and Alou backs out. At first is Fletcher. There's Cordero. Offerman to Harris for 1, and they don't get him. That looked like it had double play written all over it. And the Dodgers do not turn it, and it'll bring on Will Cordero. Offerman gives it to Harris. Ooh. Here's Cordero. And Cordero takes low. John Vanderwall will be a pinch hitter if need be. And Vanderwall. Two and 0 the count. Dodgers on top 3-1. Down the right field line. If that's fair, it's trouble. It's a foul ball. And just foul. Whoa, was that close? Terry Tato holding his ground at first base and signaling foul. That was, if it was foul, it was like a foot maybe. Cordero will come back. That would have scored a run. Right. See the ball coming down. Tato ruled it foul. Two balls and a strike with 2 outs. Carroll's holding Alou. Got to be alive. Alou can steal a base. He has 17 on the year. Check swing, got the bat. 2-2 the count. Hitters don't like that. Check swings that hit the bat. 2-2 the count. 2 outs. And the Dodgers on top by 2. 3-1. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Dodgers, scoring all 3 in the 6th inning. And for Montreal, a run on 4 hits and no errors. 2-2 to Cordero. And the count goes to 3-2. And oh, what happened there? Piazza went to throw the ball back to, oh, I guess he just wanted to take a look at it. That's what happened. Tried to throw it back and then gave it back to the home plate umpire. Boy, that was scary. Full count 3-2. The run will be off with a pitch. Carroll's playing behind him. Alou goes. Foul back. The Dodgers with single games here in Montreal and Philadelphia. Then they open up with that big twilight doubleheader in New York. That'll be on Thursday night. Alou goes again. Pop foul. Karros as close as he can get, but he runs out of room. A full count of 3-2. Alou back to first. And Cordero will start it again. Down the third base side. There's where that protector comes in handy. In this case, Rod Nichols. Omar Dahl throwing. Roger McDowell, of course, the veteran down there. He's thrown enough to know how much he has to throw to get loose. He's just turning around watching the action. And you've got Vanderwall, the left-hander, in the on-deck circle if they want to use a pinch hitter. So Dahl would undoubtedly be the man that they might bring in if indeed they do bring one in. Runner goes again, and it's ball 4. Well, we'll find out. That is walk number 6 by Martinez, and here comes Vanderwall. Ron Pernosky is just looking over, hasn't got any word from Lasorda. Vanderwall will come on. As Vanderwall stands in, he's hitting .268, 3 home runs and 18 RBI. So now Montreal has good speed aboard, but he's hitting just 1 for 10 as a pinch hitter. Alou at second, Cordero at first. On deck, the leadoff hitter, Delano to Shield. Well, Martinez taking too much time again, and they'll back off. Vanderwall's only hitting 25 points higher off of Martinez lifetime than he is pinch hitting. 125 that he takes high. Martinez has to throw a strike. One ball and 1 strike the count. One ball, 1 strike. Alou at second, Cordero at first, keeping an eye on Alou. Alou can get all kinds of a lead. Nobody's holding anybody close. And he pops him up. So Vanderwall is under 100 as the shortstop Offerman makes the catch. The Expos retired. Vin will be back in the 7th inning, and through 6 it's 3-1 Los Angeles.
Hi once again, everybody. As we go to the 7th inning, a thought about Ramon Martinez. If he continues to pitch and use as many pitches, he will make 152 pitches in 9 innings. That's too many. So we'll have to watch and see if he falls behind too many more times, because he has really been doing a high wire act so far. In the 7th inning, Jeff Shaw will take over for the Expos. Ramon will start it off. Ball 1. Dodgers lead 3-1 in the 7th. That's a strike. 1-1. So Martinez, Butler, and Offerman. Two balls and 1 strike to count. Two and 2. Ramon has really had to work hard tonight, but so far so good. Fouled away. Jeff Shaw coming out of the bullpen. Another foul ball. Shaw is from a little town in Ohio, Washington Courthouse, Ohio. He'll be 27 on the 7th of July. 3-2 the count to Ramon. Reached on a fielder's choice and struck out. Comebacker. Nice play by Shaw if he can get it out of the webbing. Who was it? Terry Mulholland? I think it was. Mulholland couldn't get the ball out of his webbing, so he threw glove and all over to first base. For a moment we thought we might have a repeat of that, but Shaw was able to get it out of the leather. Now watch that ice cream cone. He can't quite get it out. There it is. One down. A nice play by Jeff Shaw, and it brings up Butler. Struck out, thrown out on a good bunt, walked and scored a run in the 6th inning. He had gone 13 games without scoring a run, so he broke that drought tonight. One ball, no strikes. Tomorrow night it's Dennis Martinez. Ground ball just fair, and so Butler on his way. By the time Walker picks it up, Brett is into second, standing with a double. Just got it over the bag. So Butler pulls one over the bag, and the Dodgers come up with that another double. They've had 5 doubles tonight. Snyder has a double, Offerman a double, Butler a double, Karros a double, Harris a double. 3-1 Dodgers in the 7th, trying to snap a 7-game losing streak here. Remember, the Dodger record at Olympic Stadium of late, 2 wins and 19 losses. And that's going to be hit over DeShields' head for a base hit. Butler will score, and the Dodgers lead 4-1. So Offerman comes up with a double and a single and a run batted in. Take another look as Offerman just goes out and gets it and hits it over DeShields' head for the base hit. Now Snyder double to right, flied to right, and called out on strikes. Corey is having one problem, and yet if you look at his batting average, you're not aware of the problem. He started the game hitting .311. Would you believe he has struck out 60 times? 60, and he's still hitting over 300. 0-1. He's about a .500 hitter when he makes contact. If you subtract those strikeouts, it's amazing. Corey was called out on strikes in the 6th inning. Boy, the Dodgers got all over him at the baggage carousel here in Montreal. The ball club waiting for the bag so you can go through customs. And one of the bags that came down the chute was a San Francisco Giant bag. And you should have heard the noise. And then they checked. Yep, Corey Snyder. They rode him all the way into town. 1-1. And he strokes it into left center, but there's Moises Alou, and he lost it for the moment. Boy, that's tough. Moises Alou had that ball get up in the lights at the very last second, and somehow he got an angle on it without getting hit in the face. Remember, Alou was involved in that big play. He just missed catching the ball hit by Karros. What made that play so interesting were the 2 umpires. Alou diving at Karros' ball. Jeff Kellogg called him out, but Eric Gregg called him safe, and Gregg overruled the young third base umpire. And the Dodgers picked up 2 runs, and it meant a 3-run inning. Had the game revolved around Kellogg's call on the ball hit by Karros, the Dodgers would not have scored at all. Eric Karros 1 for 3, and Offerman at first, looking across to Reed Amalfitano. One thing for Felipe Alou, and he might have been trying to help Brian Barnes get a win. Barnes doesn't go more than 6, and he was in trouble in the 6th, and Alou let him pitch to Karros, and Karros had hit the ball hard the other 2 at bats. A hard ground ball to short, and he almost cut Lansing in half with a ground ball in the 4th inning. But Alou went with Barnes, and then Karros doubled. There goes Offerman. Ground ball gloved nicely by Lansing, as the laser, as they call him, throws out Eric, and that's it. So 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left, and at the end of 6 1/2, Dodgers 4, Expos 1. A reminder, it'll be helmet day at Dodger Stadium Saturday, July 24th. All children 14 and under at the game receive a free souvenir batting helmet. Helmet day at Dodger Stadium July 24th. The Dodgers and the Mets game will start at noon. Dodger bullpen with Omar Dahl, Pedro Martinez. As we told you, Ramon has made a lot of pitches through 6 innings. He has made 102. So he's been averaging 17 pitches an inning, and that's too many. Delino DeShields, Michael Lansing, and then Marquise Grissom. 4-1 in favor of the Dodgers, bottom of the 7th. First ball hitting. Boy, that's a break if they can run it down, and Davis is right there. So DeShields, fly ball to Eric Davis, and thrown in by Butler, 1 away. And the batter will be Mike Lansing. It has been very rare tonight, 1, that we've seen Montreal first ball swing, and 2, Ramon even close to throwing a strike on the first pitch. Lansing has single a lab, walked, and sacrificed, 1 for 1. It looked like the Expos were going to chase Ramon out of the ballpark in the 1st inning. When DeShields opened up with a base hit, Lansing followed with a base hit, and Marcus Grissom, Larry Walker coming up back to back. The only run he gave up was on a balk. Tell you what might happen. Remember the balk the other night, Pedro Estacio against the Giants? Cost a run. Pedro balked with the bases loaded. That cost a run. And Ramon did the same thing. It's a line drive caught by Offerman. 2 down. When the opposition has a runner at second base, that runner can look right in at the catcher's sign. So the Dodgers, like so many ball clubs, have a rather extensive series of signs whenever there is a runner at second base. What happened the other night with Estacio, Piazza was starting the signs, and Estacio picked up a sign and decided to pitch. Mike instinctively saying to himself, no, not yet, I'm not finished with the sign. And he held one hand up as if to say, hold it. Well, Estacio suddenly stopped in the middle of his delivery because of the hold it and balked. And it's conceivable that Ramon, in looking at Mike's signs in the 1st inning, started to hurry, then realized he was only halfway through the signs and broke his delivery. Here's one hit up the middle, and Ramon has given up a long fly ball to left, a line drive out to short, and now a base hit to center. They get the feeling he's tiring a wee bit, and the batter now is Larry Walker. Walker hit into a force play, was walked intentionally, and flied to left. A comebacker. Ramon able to make the play. So that will be that. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. That's the quickest inning Ramon has had tonight. He made only 7 pitches that inning. That's like having the weekend off.
Your game is brought to you by cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old. Get into the cold.
The Dodgers enjoying a 4-1 lead in the 8th inning. Mike Piazza, Eric Davis, and Tim Wallach against the right-hander Jeff Shaw. Ball 1 to Mike. Piazza walked, then hit a ball hard, and Cordero made a good play. And then last time up, good curveball busted in on his hands, and he just hit a little ground ball. So he's 0 for 2. Fouled off to the right, out of play. What is happening to Mike Piazza is what happens to all the kids when they come up here. They get blazing hot, and then all the pitchers in the league conspire. They pass notes to each other. They talk, how do you get him out? What have you done? What do you think we ought to do? Then they start throwing a lot of change-ups and a lot of breaking balls, and all of a sudden he's 2 for 28. Foul ball, and he hit that on the hand. Now what Piazza has to do, and he's still checking that handle. Piazza has to learn to adjust. He has to realize what he's getting and what they're doing and make the adjustment. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fastball got him looking, and that's what happens. He's now got his head so much onto change-ups and curveballs that he's taking pitches that he would kill in April and May. It is all part of a liberal education in the big leagues. Just drilled it. 1 down. It's still the big leagues. On the job training, and here is Eric Davis. Hit into a double play, fly to right, single to left. In the 6th inning against Tim Scott, Davis got 4 consecutive fastballs. Missed 2, fouled 1 off, and then got the base hit on the diving try by Moises Alou that meant 2 runs. So the Dodgers trying to snap a 7-game losing streak here, and they're leading 4-1 in the 8th inning. 1-1, Derek. Half swing, that'll cost a strike. 1-2. It's been Brian Barnes, Tim Scott, and Jeff Shaw. When the Expos hit in the bottom of the 8th, they have Bullock, Fletcher, and Alou. 1-2. Fastball hit to right center and slicing, and Grissom's not going to get it. And Eric is really letting out. He's going for 3 and then decides no. The relay was to Delino DeShields, and as soon as Eric saw the relay man glove it, he quit and stopped. Little did he know DeShields was going to drop the ball. But Eric is into second with a 1-out double. Driving that to right center. And Grissom makes the difference between a double and a triple when he hits the cutoff man. And here's where DeShields is going to drop it right there. But by that time, Davis had stopped second. Ground ball by Wallach underneath the glove of Lansing. The ball didn't come up for him. Davis will stop at third. And into second goes Wallach. A hard ground ball, but instead of coming up, it sunk. It will be an error charged to Lansing. He just expected it to come up, and there it went. So Lansing draws the error. The Dodgers at second and third with 1 out. Lenny Harris the batter. Then you have Ramon Martinez and Brett Butler. And let's see what Alou decides to do. Well, first of all, Ramon might not be coming up. Dave Hansen is out on deck. There's no one throwing in the bullpen. Whether that's a decoy or not, we'll see. Infield is up. Ball 1. Now Fletcher out to talk to Shaw, so timeout. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Dodgers, 1 run, 5 hits for Montreal in the 8th inning. So Lou got a run in the 1st inning, but no offense tonight, and Ramon Martinez did a good job keeping things quiet. Tim Johnson on his left, Joe Kerrigan on his right, and Lenny Harris getting another helmet. One ball and no strikes. Line drive at DeShields. So now let's see, and we get the answer. Hansen is definitely coming up. And down in the Dodger bullpen, Pedro Martinez begins to loosen up. So he'll be relieving his brother. So Dave Hansen coming up. I don't know if Julie's going to pick up little Samantha Lynn and bring her close to the television set or not. The Hansens' new daughter, Samantha Lynn. Dave, of course, with one of the more exciting hits in a player's lifetime. A game-winning 9th inning pinch hit grand slam home run. The only way I guess you can improve on that is either to win the pennant or the World Series. Meanwhile, birdies in right field. No golf. Larry Walker's just watching like the master of an aviary. Ground ball to first, and that will do it. So the Dodgers get a base hit and an error, but leave 2, and at the end of 7½. Dodgers 4, Expos 1. Pedro Martinez loosening up, so he'll relieve his brother Ramon in the bottom of the 8th inning with the Dodgers leading 4-1. Pedro has done exceptionally well, and you get an idea. Look at those numbers. Look at the strikeouts, 46, in innings pitched 48. You know he throws hard. So Ramon was on a borderline anyway coming out, making too many pitches, and they finally batted for him. So Ramon went 7 and allowed just 1 run and 5 hits. Ball 1. Frank Bullock followed by Darren Fletcher and Moises Alou. Florida beat Atlanta 4-2. Chris Hammond is pitching super. Hammond, formerly with the Cincinnati Reds, is now 10-4 with the Florida Marlins. There's Fletcher on deck. Fastball, and he missed with that. 3-0. Pedro would appear to be stronger than Ramon. He certainly throws harder now. But of course, Ramon, when he first came up, threw very, very hard. There's a third Martinez brother, Jesus, a left-hander. So Bullock draws a walk, and the batter will be Darren Fletcher. Fletcher, and this is the kind of a night that drives a player wacky. If you look at the paper, he's 1 for 3. You say that's pretty good, but it's not good. He came up with runners at 2nd and 3rd in the 1st inning and made the last out. He came up with 2 on and 2 out in the 3rd and made the last out, so he failed to advance 5 runners. Then when he did get the base hit, it was 1 out, bases empty. Ball 1. Omar Dahl and Jim Gott. And now Pedro needs a breather, and Mike Piazza going out to talk to him. And here comes Ron Perinoski. He has made 6 pitches and he has not hit the strike zone yet. Down in the bullpen for Montreal, and it's a surprise to see him with his team trailing by 3. John Wetland, who is their closer. Wetland has 17 saves. You wouldn't think he'd be throwing now. Gott would be throwing now because his team is winning. So Pedro Martinez working on Darren Fletcher. Four to 1 Dodgers in the 8th. And that's a strike. 2-1. Pedro shut down the Giants for 2 innings on Wednesday and picked up his 5th win. He's had 4 straight wins, tying Roger McDowell for the longest winning streak by a Dodger pitcher this year. Fouled away. 2-2. Waiting his turn on deck, Moises Alou. He's 0 for 3. $23,368. Almost 7,000 above the average, and they're here tonight. Tomorrow night it'll be Kevin Gross and Dennis Martinez right here on 5. Hit into left field and sinking for a base hit. So the Expos on a walk and a single have runners at first and second, and Moises Alou coming up. Moises Alou flied to right, popped to short, and forced Fletcher on a ground ball to Offerman. Moises Alou, the son of Felipe, and reminder, it was 30 years ago, right around this time, when the Giant outfield was all Alou. Felipe, Matty, and Jesus Alou all played in the game for the Giants. Tim Laker will run at first base for Fletcher. He's a catcher, so he can stay in. Ball 1. So Pedro is struggling a little bit. Ron Perinoski dying a little bit. 1 ball and no strikes. Now back. 1-1. Moises against Pedro. But Moises Alou is a lot older. Moises is 26 and will be 27 in July, on the 3rd, in fact. Pedro's 21. Moises was born in Atlanta, Georgia, when his dad was playing there. Here's Felipe watching his boy. 1-1. Takes a strike. 1-2. Will Cordero, the young shortstop, on deck. Alou with 7 home runs right now. He had 9 all last year. He hit .282 last season. Runs very well. Has stolen 13 out of 14. But he just figures to get better and better. He has very strong and quick hands and an excellent upper body. Very strong and quick. 2-2. For purists, you might be interested to know that on the day that Moises Alou was born, his father was playing for the Braves and went 0 for 3. And Felipe was the only one of the 3 Alou brothers not to get a hit that day. But he got the biggest hit of all, a son by the name of Moises. So with a full count and nobody out, got him. So Moises Alou strikes out. And with 1 out, the batter will be Will Cordero, as Pedro Martinez just muscles up on a fastball. Just blew it by him. 47 strikeouts in 48 innings. And now Cordero. 2 on, 1 out. Cordero has walked twice and struck out. Sean Berry out on deck. Ball 1. In the inning, Bolek walked. Fletcher singled. Laker ran for him. Moises Alou strikes out, and here is Cordero. Will has 4 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Bottom of the 8th inning, 4-1 Dodgers. Just missed. Ball 2. Pedro has a necessary ingredient. It looks like he has a sneer on his face. And he has tremendous self-confidence. 2-0. Fastball, and he's missed it now. 3-0. All the self-confidence in the world, but you got to get the ball over the plate. And he's got his manager twisting and turning a little bit, as well as the pitching coach. 3-0 to Cordero. Very high to load the bases with 1 out. Now Perinoski waiting until he got the sign from plate umpire Jerry Davis that Sean Berry is officially in the game, and he is. And now we'll see if Ron is bringing a hook. Bases loaded, 1 out in the 8th, and Jim Gott is asked to ride to the rescue. So as Scott comes in and Pedro goes out with the Dodgers leading 4-1, we'll pause for this. Jim Gott coming in with the bases loaded and 1 out with the Dodgers leading 4-1. Gott picked up his 13th save Wednesday, pitching the final inning against San Francisco. Sean Berry is coming up. And Berry has been a very hot hitter. He had a 9-game hitting streak snapped the other day against the Pirates. He homered in 3 straight games. At Miami, 1 shy of the club record. He strikes out a lot. Last year, he would walk once and strike out 11 times. So it's a roll of the dice for Felipe Alou with Sean Berry. And he promptly hits it into center for a base hit. In comes Bolek. In comes Laker. Down to third goes Cordero. And it is 4-3 Dodgers with 1 out. So Sean Berry, a clutch base hit here in the 8th inning, and now the tying run is just 90 feet away. Berry hit it over the head of Lenny Harris. No chance to make a play on it. Berry from Santa Monica becomes a big man here. Sean went to West Torrance High. gets a key base hit. Now Delino DeShields trying to get Cordero home from third. Delino is singled, grounded out, walk, fly down. Thrown out trying to steal third in the 5th inning. Right. 0-1. So a pinch hit single by Sean Berry has gotten Montreal within 1. Cordero the tying run down the line from third. Berry at first. Check swing. That's going to cost a strike. And the count 0-2 to Delino DeShields. DeShields, 13 runs batted in, has struck out 40 times this year. Big pitch now for Jim Gott. And that's hit foul off third, out of play, and it's still 0-2. With a runner at third, we should point out, Gott has 2 wild pitches. Mike Lansing is on deck. Cordero, the tying run at third. And Sean Berry at first. One ball and 2 strikes to Delino. Gary Manuel flashing something up there to the plate with the count 1-2. Berry off the bag at first. Cordero down the line from third. 2-2. In the inning, Bullock walked, Fletcher singled, and Laker ran for him. Alou struck out, Cordero walked, and that was all for Pedro Martinez. Berry then singled against Gott to drive in 2 and send the tying run to third. 4-3 Dodgers. 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Runners at first and third. Little nubber foul to the right of the plate. Still 2-2. Gott trying desperately to put him away without the runners advancing. With a 5-game hitting streak, and Gott staring in. Ball 3. Well, now Alou has a decision. Does he want to turn his runner loose? Well, he's passing the word to Jerry Manuel, who is relaying it. Remember, 1 out. So if the runner goes and DeShields strikes out, let's say, then Piazza has a decision. The runner goes, and it's fouled away. So Berry going 3-2. Cordero, who stands at third, has stolen 8 out of 9. So the Expos have some running speed. Big moment here. 4-3 in favor of the Dodgers, but the lead is threatened. And they both take a breather, Gott and DeShields. Runner goes, got him swinging, and Piazza throws it. It's speared by Offerman, and the runner holding at third. For a split second, it looked like Mike had released the ball too soon, as both Offerman and Harris were converging on the bag, and Offerman was able to reach up and spear it. See, Mike never looked at third, and here comes Offie to just catch it before it goes into center field. So that was cutting it close. Here's another angle. DeShields striking out on what looked like ball 4, but look at that throw up there. Good save by Offerman. So the tying run is still at third base, and the batter now is Mike Lansing. So DeShields fooled on the curveball and strikes out, and now it's up to Lansing. Single, walk, sacrifice, lined out. He's the boy who had 3 doubles in April against the Dodgers and drove in 4 runs. Ball 1. And on deck is Marquise Griffin. They want to get Lansing and get out of the inning. Two big strikeouts by Alou and DeShields. That's a strike. 1-1. Ball 2, 2-1. So Jim Gott trying to extricate the Dodgers from a very tough spot. Gave up a base hit, then got a big strikeout. 4-3 Dodgers, 2 out. Expos at second and third. And it's a fly ball to center. Butler just about under it now. So Lansing a long out. And the Dodgers get off the hook not before they allow 2, and at the end of 8, 4-3 Dodgers. Scotland is the new pitcher, and he'll go into Mike Lansing's spot, number 2. Tim Laker, who ran for Fletcher, stays in the game behind the plate. Now here's the point. As you look at Wetland, he'll be pitching to Butler, Offerman, and Snyder. We were talking about Piazza's throw to second. And remember, we showed you Offerman coming to the bag and leaping in the air to grab the throw. But now, in retrospect, as we reflect on that play, why was Offerman late in getting to the bag to have to leap in the air and handle the throw in the first place? There was a left-hand hitter at the plate, Delino DeShields, a 3-2 pitch, and you would expect the shortstop to break and cover, and he didn't. And Offerman was late. Piazza got rid of the ball, and only that stretch by Offerman prevented the throw from going into center. And then Mike would have seemed to be the GOAT. People would have said it was his throwing error. But I think really, the more I think about it, Offerman was late covering second base. And they got away with it. So it's still 4-3 Dodgers, 9th inning. 1-2 the count to Brett Butler. That was a good fastball. Look at Butler laughing. I mean, that thing almost sawed it off in his hands. One pro giving the other the acknowledgement. Boy, that thing was coming in a hurry. Watch this. Wetland just uncorked a fastball, and Butler just did get a piece of it. John Wetland facing Brett Butler. Fastball fouled away. When the Expos come up in the bottom of the 9th inning, they will have Marquise Grissom and Larry Walker. Since the 13th of May, Wetland's earned run average in 20 games has been .3. Can you believe that? .3, a third of a run. Since May 13, John has a victory, no losses, and 14 saves. In 39 innings, 46 strikeouts. He had a 25-inning shutout streak come to an end against the Pirates on the 28th. So he had really been bringing it. And Butler going to make him work. It's like Butler is making backhand shots of some rocketing serve, kind of chipping him foul off to the left. Two and two to Butler. 3-2. Butler has scored twice tonight after failing to score in 13 straight. He pops it up. It will be Delino DeShields. One out in the ninth inning. And Jose Offerman, the batter. Jose Offerman flied to left, grounded to short, and then doubled and singled. He has scored a run. He has knocked in one. Ball one. Last year, Wetland was third in the league in saves. He had 37. And he has really come into his own. 2-0 the count. Wetland, 26 years old. He won't be 27 until late in August. Now back. So Offerman waiting 2-1. We give you a lot of pluses on Wetland. We also give you a minus. Last year, he was #1 in the league in blown saves. 9. Foul away. John, so far this year, has blown saves 3 times against the Pirates and once against the Marlins. So he has had 4 blown saves this year. Hit down the left field line, foul. Nice play. That's right. Don't forget your bow. I tell you, the person whose skill has really amazed me tonight is the ball girl down there sitting in front of the Dodger bullpen. Gee, she's terrific. You want to watch her field some ground balls. Slap foul again. She handled one off Tim Wallach's bat that scared me to death for her sake, and she handled it like she was picking an apple off a tree. And there have been several hit down there, and she has all the grace. She looks like somebody in a league of their own. Fouled away. I always worry about ball girls more than ball boys. You're kind of afraid for their well-being, but boy, that young girl can handle that glove. At great concentration, too. 2-2 to Offerman. Don't forget, it'll be Grissom, Walker, and Bullock coming up in the bottom of the ninth. They had a contest before the game. They had a couple of young girls out in center field, and they had the machine that shoots the ball high in the air, and looking up into the ceiling isn't easy. And the girls handle those towering fly balls. Boy, I mean, there's nothing finesse about that. Offerman was swinging at an echo. 2 down in the ninth inning. Here it comes. Hit it if you can. So Wetland now facing Corey Snyder. Corey has doubled, flied to right, struck out, flied to left. 2 for 4. That strikeout gives Wetland 47 strikeouts in 40 innings. That's Rob Dibble kind of stuff. Whoop. 1-1. Houston defeated St. Louis 7-1. It's been Barnes, Scott, Shaw, and now Wetland. The Dodgers trying to hold on to a 4-3 lead with 2 out in the ninth. Popped in the air down the right field line, peeling off foul. Coming over in the corner near the wall is Walker as the ball came back to him. So Snyder fouls out to right. Due up, Grissom, Walker, and Bowling. Bottom of the ninth, 4-3 Dodgers. Dodgers leading the Expos 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Jim Gott will be pitching to Marquise Grissom and Larry Walker. Then if anybody gets on, Frank Bolick. Then if you want to play manager, you can look at your lineup and see the available players in the Montreal dugout. There would be Tim McIntosh and Greg Colburn, both right-handed, and Lou Frazier, a switch hitter. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Omar Dahl and Roger McDowell. And it's ball one to Grissom. So the stage is set for the bottom of the ninth. 4-3 Dodgers. Grissom, 2 hits, 2 for 4. Ball one. Hitting 300. And of course, if he gets aboard, you've really bought some trouble, because Grissom has stolen 16. Doing up. In there. Four runs, 9 hits for the Dodgers. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Expos. Another strike. Game time tomorrow, 4:35, with the warm-up show at 4 o'clock right here on 5. Got him, and he knew it. So some big outs on strikeouts lately. Now Lou struck out with runners at first and second in the 8th. DeShields struck out with runners at first and third, and 1 out with a tying run at third. And now Grissom, with all of his speed, strikes out leading off the 9th. The hitter is Larry Walker, and this is one of those handle with care moments, and both players know it. As far as Gott and Walker are concerned, Walker has 1 hit against Jim in 6 at-bats. That hit, you guessed it, was a home run. Ball 1. Bullpen now just serving by watching. Ball 2. Walker with 10 home runs, 38 runs batted in. That's a strike. Larry batting .276. Ball 3. Now Walker is another fella. God knows if he gets aboard, he's a threat to run. He's stolen 12 out of 14. And that's hit foul off third, down the line, back into the crowd. Crowd of 23,368 tonight. averaged 17,000 a game here so far this year. This is a small market, and with players like Delino DeShields, Marcus Grissom, Ken Hill, Larry Walker, John Wetland, they are all eligible for arbitration at the end of this year. And you're talking about a possibility, a minimum of probably $10 million additional salary. And that's tough for a market like this, so there could be some big players leaving Montreal after this year. Another foul ball, so Walker is still there, 3-2. One out in the ninth, 4-3 in favor of the Dodgers, trying to snap a 7-game losing streak here. And yes, they do have turf, and the turf is in the dugout, or sod, we should say. Fouled away again. There's the sod. The Dodgers are hoping that it'll bring them a little luck. Another foul ball. Walker not getting a pitch he can drive, just kind of chipping them foul. Gott's been pitching him a little down and away. See if he stays there or not. Got him. Fastball got him. Big pitch. So Jim Gott hammers Larry Walker. 2 out in the 9th inning. That's the 3rd strikeout for Gott. He came in. You see, he'd been pitching him down and away. And Walker was slapping them foul off third, and he crossed him up with the location. So 2 out, 9th inning. And the batter is Frank Bolek. Walked twice, couple of fly balls, 0 for 2. Bolek 4 home runs, 21 runs batted in. Ball 1. Ball 2. Foul ball on the count, 2-1. Game 2 of the series tomorrow at 4:35. Warm-up time at 4 o'clock. Kevin Gross and Dennis Martinez. Greg Colburn, right-hand batter, is out on deck. There's Greg. He has 4 home runs, hoping to get a shot at things. Two and 1. Ball 3. Well, Jim struck out Grissom and struck out Walker. There's a day's work right there. Now he's 3-1 on Bolek. 4-3 Dodgers, 2 out in the 9th. That's a strike. So a full count to Bolek. And there's a drive to right. Going back is Schneider, and one-hands it going into the wall. What a way to end the game. Fives everywhere as Bullock lines out to Corey Snyder, going up against the pads. We'll take another look at that. It wasn't going to be a home run, but it could easily have put the tying run in scoring position. Of course, the Expos had a shot at that in the 8th inning when they left the tying run at third. You notice Lasorda, Perinoski was starting to walk across the foul line. There's Snyder's play again. And Tommy grabbed Perinoski and say, no, you stay here in foul ground. The players go out. Don't break it. So they can really get some strange thoughts. And apparently Lasorda feels you do not cross that line if you're a manager or a coach. But once again, the final score, Dodgers 4, the Expos 3. For Don Drysdale and Ross Porter, this is Vin Scully inviting you to stay tuned for the postgame show coming right up.